I cannot believe how fast time went by. Sorry. Just to let you know what to do when you get emotional. I cannot believe we are almost at the end of the 3rd grade. It's unbelievable how fast time goes by.
I know, Miss Elira, I know, students. Time flies so fast and changing into the past too.
Missing, do you have any plans for the summer?
Well, I'm going to Canada. I'm so done with Europe. So I am off to Toronto on the next flight.
Well. Your smile is giving away your secrets, students and Miss Flutura.
We will share our plans later, right, children?
Let's hear from our friends first.
That sounds interesting. But is anyone traveling outside of Tirana?
Oh, I thought I was the only one going on a special adventure with 3 of our 3rd graders.
Oh, Miss Flutura, wait till the real surprises unfold.
What is going on? I don't get it. What surprises are we talking about here? I need to know.
Wait for you to surprises unfold.
Okay. In that case, I think Canada is cancelled. I'm not going to Canada anymore. I am going to join your adventure. Is that okay?
Yes!
Cool. I am also going to go on an adventure.
Yay! It's going to be so much fun!
I'm super duper happy that Miss Singh and Miss Elira will join us. Because how else would I handle all these students in 4 different countries with no much help?
I agree, Miss Maggie. We all should go.
But where are you going?
We are going on a special adventure!
We are visiting Rome and other parts of Italy with Miss Maggie.
We want to go to Egypt. Miss Singh would happily fly us there. Right, Miss Singh?
Yes, of course. I want to go to Egypt. I've been wanting to go to Egypt. Thank you for inviting me.
Give me 5. This sounds interesting, but how many students are going with each teacher?
8 students would go with each teacher, Miss Elira.
Wow, how did you calculate that number?
I will answer that question. There are 32 students and 4 teachers. 32 divided by 4 equals 8. So, Miss Flutura, you need 2 more students to a group.
I will help with cheap last-minute plane tickets. I know someone who can help us.
Yes, I will need 2 more tickets.
Oh, and don't forget about 4 more tickets for us.
How many students are going anyway?
34 students and 4 teachers at the 36.
That's right. Awesome.
Wait, do our parents know about our summer adventure? I don't remember telling them anything about it. Do we have the permission forms? It's already the last day of school.
That's a good point, actually, Larissa. Let's request Mr. Fernando and Mr. Scher to quickly meet with your parents and arrange this field trip for us. I am sure they'll happily let us go on this adventure.
But Miss Elira, when do we leave if we get permission?
Well, it's June the 22nd. It's 9 o'clock in the morning, and we can request Mr. Fernando and Mr. Scher to consider our request so that we all can go on these amazing adventures.
Scene 3. Setting Tirana International Airport. Miss Elvira, where are our students? Are they not flying today?
Actually, they flew out this morning to Cairo, Beijing, and Rome.
Where are we flying to first, Miss Elvira? Well, I will answer that question. We will fly to Frankfurt first, then go to change to Guatemala. This is so wonderful. I love adventures.
So weird.
Setting Colosseum, Rome.
All right. Welcome to Rome, third graders.
I can't believe how beautiful this is. I always wanted to visit the Colosseum. My mom's been here and said it was one of the most beautiful places she has ever seen. Look at that shape. It's elliptical. Isn't it harder to build an elliptical rather than a circle? I think so too. Let's find out from someone else.
Hey, I see a golden light inside the Colosseum. Maybe we can find someone to answer our wondering.
Hello, someone in there? Hello, is someone in there?
Who are you and what are you doing here? We are here to learn more about the Colosseum, especially why it's shaped like this. I am so happy to meet you children. What year is this? Nobody has visited us in so many centuries. What do you mean nobody has visited you in centuries? You have traveled back in time. We are from 70 AD. 70 AD? And why are you saying we? Are there more people with you? Yes, we are a whole tribe here and I am the leader. What's your name, sir? My name is Vespasian Flavian. I am the one who gifted this amphitheater to the people of Rome. So glad to meet you, Mr. Flavian. We would like to know the shape of this Colosseum. Glad to meet you too. The elliptical shape was chosen to help increase the space to accommodate more people into the Colosseum.
It seems you know how construction works. Pretty neat. Can you tell us more about your construction skills?
Of course, we had the best cement and concrete work. Arches and domes were used extensively, and we took pride in designing pretty and strong buildings.
We brought this book for you, Mr. Flavian.
It is written both in Latin and Greek. We knew Latin was the official language spoken at the time, so we chose this book for you.
It's a record on modern day. It's a record on the influence of on Roman architecture on modern day construction style.
Thank you for visiting us. I will read this magical book to everyone in my community.
Of course, there's a lot of Roman architectural influence in the modern world, such as Buckingham Palace in England, and Washington D.C. in U.S. and exhibits of the Roman architecture.
My people will be so proud to listen to the stories you have shared about our influence on the modern world. What are those you have in your hands, children?
These are passports. We cannot travel to another country without passports.
We did not use passports, but we did use handwritten permits to travel.
All right, children. Thank you, Mr. Flavian, for all this important information.
Gracias, Tibi.
Gracias, Tibi.
So the setting is the Great Wall of China, and we are visiting them. So, good morning, boys and girls. I hope you are well rested.
Thank you and good morning, Miss Tutura.
So, today I have an excited news for you. We are going to visit the Great Wall of China. So, it's going to be just a short trip, 1 hour and 57 minutes by bus. But I want one thing for you guys. Stay together and be safe and follow the rules, okay? So, but before we leave, I want to introduce you to somebody because she is gonna be our tour guide. So, meet Miss Holly. She is gonna be our tour guide and she is gonna give us information. She's gonna be taken around the Great Wall of China, and you can ask her as many questions as you want from modern China and ancient China.
Zhao Shang Hao, meaning good morning. You can call me Miss Holly, and I'll be very happy to answer your questions.
This is so amazing. I've never imagined something like this.
Chinese take a lot of pride in the Great Wall of China. It is one of the finest architectural and engineering designs from times long gone.
Yes, we can see that.
Do you know anything about the function of this wall? Your answer is impressive, young woman.
What is a plateau anyway?
A plateau is an area of raised land that is flat on top. Sometimes it's called the tableland.
The Great Wall started being built with mud, stone, wood, bricks, and later on tiles used to construct it.
We also learned that some parts of the wall have disappeared, while others have been constructed and reconstructed over years.
The sad part is that thousands of construction workers lost their lives while building the Great Wall.
Thousands of peasants, captured enemies, and criminals built the wall by hand. The workers were not paid and the work was very hard. Construction of the wall was very difficult and dangerous. The workers were fed only enough food to keep them alive. This wasn't fair. I agree, but in ancient times, people did not have voices, so rich people could take full advantage of their helplessness.
Did you know that the 77 countries use the same idea of buildings to keep enemies away? And some countries in modern times use walls to keep immigrants away.
Oh, I did not know that. Thank you, Klite. I visited India and I saw some cities protected by walls, although many are falling apart. Oh, yes, I agree. I visited some cities in India. Now we will enjoy a picnic, then we will take the cable car to visit different areas of the wall. I will be taking 4 children with me, and the other half will go with the other teacher. We will meet at Battling Wall, the most preserved wall of all.
Yes, it's not one big long wall.
No, it's not even a wall, as many people think. It's a series of fortifications.
Thank you, Mr. Holy. We cannot wait to see the great food of China.
So the setting is Hotel Hyatt Regency in Beijing. So, students, I want you to thank you because yesterday you were so awesome. You were caring and principled. But I want you even today to show the same spirit learning as you did yesterday, okay? Thank you.
I am so excited to go see Chinese song. I'm going to find a red piece of soap for my mom.
I'm also thinking of buying a shirt or a lovely scarf for my mom. I'm Akira and finding more information about the Silk Road, the Chinese trading system back in the day, and their money. It's so cool to think of how the civilization brought to the world some great trading strategies and inventions.
Tell us more about how trade flourished in China.
Zhang Hao, everyone.
Zhao Shang Hao.
Mr. Holy.
Are you ready for this new adventure?
Yes, we are.
This is gonna be a long journey. The bus will take 12 hours to arrive at Silk Town. We will rest our hotel tonight and go to the town tomorrow morning.
We are so excited about being driven through China.
Welcome to the largest silk market in China. There are over 600 silk shops here. These are people all over the world. Stay with me and teach us at all times. You don't want to lose us in the crowd.
We will stay together, Mr. Holy.
Great, you are a caring group of students.
Tell us more about how trade flourished in China.
China is abounded in mineral and natural resources. Coal, iron, ore, bauxite, copper, and limestone, and many more other minerals are found plentiful here. These resources have helped China to become one of the most powerful trading nations.
China seems like a boss of trading the world.
How do you transport goods from China to international markets?
There is a big network of roads and highways, and also ocean waterways. The ocean is widely used to transfer goods.
How did the Chinese use the ocean to transport goods in ancient times?
Yes, during the era of Ming's dynasty, they used the Indian Ocean and the Arabian Sea to trade. You must read more about the Maritime Silk Road.
What is maritimes anyway?
Maritimes means places close to the sea where ships and other ocean and sea activities influence our everyday life.
Thank you, Mr. Holy. This is new information for us.
Zhao Shanghao, sir.
Zhao Shanghai, young fellows. My name is Zhang Xian. Welcome to my world.
Your world? What do you mean?
You have walked back in time and you are talking to the person who is thought to have discovered the Silk Road in 138 BC.
How cool! Please tell us more about ancient China.
Let me invite my friend Xing Mang. He has lived in a time when silk was becoming popular in the West. Xing Mang.
Xing Mang, these are little humans from the modern world who want to know more about China and our times.
Of course, with a lot of pleasure, I can talk about how wonderful China was while the whole world was developing.
Chinese people back in the time did not call it Silk Road. It was a long stretch of road and not easy to travel. There was always the fear of robbers and the weather would cause problems. The difficult terrain made traveling very difficult. I went a short distance on it once, but I gave up.
I went on it too. Not easy, children. Merchants traveled in groups and lived in tiny walled areas and kept their merchandise with them, meaning the animals stayed with the merchants inside.
Meet the wisest and oldest man from China, Dao Hao. He has seen both ancient and modern China.
I am a wise old man. I am very pleased to meet you children from today's world. You have come from far away. Welcome to our country.
Wait, how did you know we came from a faraway country? We never said anything.
I am a wise old man. I am glad you came to visit China. You are very fortunate to live in an advanced world. But did you know that modern agriculture, shipping, astronomical observatories, decimal mathematics, paper money, wheelbarrows, the game of chess, etc., all came from China in addition to printing and gunpowder? Silk is another story.
Yes, Mr. Dao, we learned about a rich civilization during our unit of inquiry. Did you also introduce paper money to the world? Please tell us briefly about paper money.
We first started using the flying currency in 806 AD. Letters of credit were transferred over large distances. Letters of credit were made of 1 foot square pieces of white deerskin with colorful borders. The Song dynasty was the first to issue real paper money in 1023 AD. The most famous Chinese issuer of Chinese paper money was Kublai Khan, among the leaders in the 13th century.
China has given the world rich treasure. The modern world is grateful for the Chinese, even the thinkers back then.
Where were you guys? Oh my goodness, I was so worried about you. We looked for you anywhere, but you just disappeared. We're done, then.
Good
morning, boys and girls. I hope you had a nice rest after the long flight all the way from Albania to Guatemala. Today, we are going out to visit the city. For more information, let me introduce our tour guide, Antonella.
Buenos dias, children and teacher. I'm so happy to meet you. I will be taking you to two places. One is Curigua and the other one is Tikal National Park. They are UNESCO heritage sites. The trip will take 3 days. Are you excited?
Yes, we love the idea. Yes, we love the idea.
Does anyone know anything about Tikal National Park?
I know. It is one of the most famous ruins of Guatemala, dating back to 900 BCE. It has multiple pyramids, some of which have been featured in films such as Star Wars.
That's awesome. Teachers can actually learn from students too. Thank you for sharing that information with us, Juliet.
Let's go then. The first stop will be Curigua, and you will see what awaits you there. Let the surprise unfold. We will stop for lunch at Sandok Cafe. They serve the best pizza ever.
I love pizza. Thank you, Antonella.
I cannot wait to visit ancient Maya. I never imagined we'd actually be going on a field trip to Guatemala.
We should thank Mr. Fernando and Mr. Cher. We should bring them back presents, right, Miss Vera?
That sounds like a plan, Larissa. Let's do it.
Who are those people, Antonella?
They are people of ancestors of Mayan. They are very interesting people.
We traveled from Albania to Guatemala to learn about the Maya. Can you please arrange us to speak with them?
Of course, I have my friends in here.
Hola, buenos días. So, este jóvenes de Albania, estudiantes de Albania, quieren hablar contigo. ¿Está bien? So, le tienen preguntas sobre sus antepasados.
Let me translate you that. Good morning. These kids want to talk to you. They are from Albania. It's okay?
Of course, we speak English too, and it will be our pleasure to answer any questions students and teacher may have. Let's get into it.
Did ancient Maya enjoy music and dance?
Yes, we did. We played small ocarinas, flutes, rattles, and drums. We also sang and danced to show our joy and happiness.
Well, they believe in gods and goddesses? Yes, they did. They worshipped storms, wind, fire, and rain. They also respected the earth.
Did they also eat plant-based foods?
Yes, they did. They ate lots of maize and vegetables too. They made tortillas and porridge out of corn. They made corn syrup as well. But cacao was the most important to them. They called it God's food.
Wow! Even modern medical science discovered the benefits of cacao. Interesting. Tell us about languages used at the time. Did they write? Did they use math? Did they read?
Our ancestors spoke nearly 23 languages. However, only one language was used in its written form.
It was more of a pictorial form of written language. And we still follow the language, clothing, traditions, and religion of our ancestors. And we are very proud of our heritage.
Hats were an important part of the Maya culture. Rich people wore the most expensive hats and had slaves carry them all over. They did not even fetch a glass of water for themselves. Was it true though?
Yes, it is true, and even people do that now, passed generation to generation.
The design of houses with thatched roofs was an idea borrowed. I even think the design of houses with thatched roofs was an idea borrowed from your ancestors. They were smart indeed. They were smart people indeed. I must say, they had great engineering and mathematical skills.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your first-hand information. It was very interesting and informative. We traveled all the way to get this information from you.
Gracias. I learned many new things too.
About 1 month later, the summer was over. It's almost the beginning of the fall season. The leaves were turning orange and yellow. There was nip in the breeze. It was getting colder. The teachers couldn't wait for the students to return to school. After all, there were so many stories that they were going to share. And I was very excited too, because I was going to share everything about Egypt. And then the students returned to school to find a beautiful piece of poetry written to welcome the students back to grade 4, and that's what the poem read. How wonderful was meeting the ancient Egyptians, the constructors of pyramids and amazing inscriptions. Papyrus, aha, one of their greatest inventions. No wonder they were one of the best nations. Knowledgeable Egyptians used hieroglyphics. Wasn't that so cool, neat, and terrific?
The pharaohs thrived in their places grand. The Egyptians did their very best with marshy and sandy land. Mighty pyramids aligned with the North Star. Oh boy, they were thinkers ahead and far.
The women pharaohs ruled the land once or twice. One dabbed on a mustache to look robust and wise. Cleopatra, the beautiful pharaoh and a wordsmith, was immortalized in history and popular myth.
Mummification, medicine, agriculture, fermentation, engineering, and architecture. The ancient Egyptians will remain the undisputed masters. Thank you, ancient Egypt, for your contributions, if ever indebted for engineering and scientific solutions.
Good evening, parents and our team at ACT. Thank you for making time to come and see your child's performance. They worked very, very hard to get this done. And we have a lot of people to thank who were behind the scenes. And first of all, I would like to thank our coordinator, Mr. Fernando, because every step of the way, the support that we got from Mr. Fernando, his valuable input, and his continuous leadership to make us better by the day, we will remain indebted to Mr. Fernando forever. Because we really learned, even as teachers, it was our mini PD every time we would meet him, and we developed a lot of skills that helped us to bring our best to your child. So thank you, Mr. Fernando. We are very grateful. I'm also very grateful to my colleague, Edlira. Without Edlira's help, this show was not possible. This would not have happened if Edlira had not put her heart and soul into bringing this beautiful performance on stage. And I also want to thank Ms. Flutura and Ms. Maggie. They are the backbone of our program. So thank you, girls. Thank you very, very much. And then there are some children who performed beautifully because they're getting a lot of support from Ms. Jen. So we also owe our gratitude, our thanks to Ms. Jen. Thank you, Ms. Jen, for supporting our students. And before I conclude and we say bye, I want to thank one very special person who worked relentlessly behind the scenes, Mrs. Sher. Thank you, Mrs. Sher, for organizing the costumes, the beautiful displays, because there were some problems that we couldn't get the three-dimensional things up and running. But Ms. Sher gave beautiful ideas, very functional, and we were able to bring some of the things that probably we wouldn't have done without Mrs. Sher's input. So thank you, Ms. Sher. We are very, very grateful to you. And thank you, parents, for supporting us, for believing in us, and helping us every step of the way. So thank you again, and have a wonderful evening. How is it?